From Florida A&M University, on the highest of 7 hills in the capital city, covering every corner of the Big Bend, this is the award-winning FAMU TV 20 News.
Good evening. You're watching FAMU TV 20. I'm Cameron Marshall.
And always to her left, I'm Michael Moore, here with your daily news.
Rickards High School Amaya Wayman is making major changes for girls across the state. The sophomore works as the founder of the Real Girl Flow and has inspired legislative change. Bill sponsors say the campaign inspired Florida Senate Bill 242, Learning with Dignity. This bill will mandate school districts to make feminine hygiene products available at no charge in female restroom facilities of public school buildings. The bill is currently pending, but if passed, it could take effect as early as July 1st.
This week for spring break, children of the Greater Bond and South City communities were given their own magic school bus moment with the pop-up preschool. Sierra Brown shows us how the pilot project went this week.
For many students, spring break means vacation. But for the early learners in Tallahassee, it just means another opportunity to learn.
This week, a pilot project called a pop-up preschool made its way to students in the Greater Bond and South City area. Every day this week, students could stop by the preschool in the parking lots of Greater Love Church of God in Christ and New St. John AME Church from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The concept included many helping hands from the partnerships of Whole Child Leon, South City Foundation, The Sharing Tree, Phoenicious, and the Hand Up Project. Jenny Blaylock was given the chance to volunteer with the project and had a hands-on experience with the young students in the neighborhoods.
It has been wonderful so far. We're out here in the rain today, so that's making it a little bit difficult, but we have had about 30 kids a day, I would say, and the kids have been having a lot of fun.
Kids were given the chance to participate in stations focusing around literacy and movement, art, and social and emotional development. Executive Director of the Sharing Tree, Carly Sinadre, is pleased with the community's response after the project has been in the works for the past 2 years.
It's been such a beautiful thing, not only to see all of the community support, but then to see these kids smiling. That's really where it's at, and we saw a lot of that this week.
The pop-up preschool also offered parents and guardian sessions on normal child developmental stages and how to support children's learning. Families were also sent off with booklets and activities to work on together at home. In Tallahassee, Sierra Brown for FAMU News 20.
While this week's pop-up preschool was only a trial, the coordinators do wish to make it a continuous production this summer. Florida Governor
Ron DeSantis announced that vaccinations will be available to all ages before May 1st deadline set by President Joe Biden. In a press conference, Governor DeSantis also announced that he will sign an executive order today that lowers the vaccination age to 50 starting on Monday. Right now, COVID-19 vaccines are available to people 55 and over in the Sunshine State.
And I think we'll see how it goes next week, but I think we will definitely be opening it up to everybody, certainly before May 1st, and maybe much sooner than that, so stay tuned there.
At the start of his presidency, Joe Biden promised 100 million vaccines administered in the first 100 days. Now, almost 2 months into his term, President Biden announced that the U.S. will hit this number today. The goal is to have all eligible adults vaccinated by the end of the summer. This has also encouraged the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to relax COVID-19 guidelines in schools. The CDC now says it is safe for students to sit 3 feet apart in class as long as face masks are worn. You can find additional updates on local vaccine distribution and the new guidelines by visiting leon.floridahealth.gov. Coming up on News 20 at 2, public officials are debating on how to rule the attack made on Asian Americans. Also, no screaming on rides. Find out why. Stay tuned. You're watching News 20 at 2. Welcome back to TV News 20. I'm Cameron Marshall. Investigators are searching for a motive after a 21-year-old shot and killed 8 people at several spas in the Atlanta area earlier this week. Despite most of the victims being of Asian descent, investigators are still looking into whether the crime was racially motivated. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms shared her belief on the attacks.
It looked like a hate crime to me. This was targeted at Asian spas. 6 of the women who were killed were Asian, so it's difficult to see it as anything but that.
Shadell Bromell is live in the studio to give us more on the story.
After the deadly spa shootings, community members are holding vigils in memory of the victims. Investigators say 6 of the women killed were of Asian descent. Police charged the suspect with 8 counts of murder and 1 count of aggravated assault. Many Asian Americans expressed their fear and anger over the incident. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris have offered solace to many Asian Americans across the country. President Biden and Vice President Harris will meet with Asian American leaders in Atlanta today. Live in the studio, Shadell Bromell, FAMU News 20.
The days of purchasing dogs and cats from pet stores in Florida could soon come to an end. Multimedia journalist Shamani Baker has more information on why.
Current Florida House Bill number 45 prohibits the retail sale of domestic dogs and cats. One of the bill's co-sponsors, Representative Anna Escamani, gives us more information on the bill.
Legislation filed by Representative Sam Killebrew would focus on essentially working to end the sale of domestic dogs and cats through pet stores. You know, in my district, we have heard horror stories of pet stores treating animals really poorly, of inbreeding, so that when you purchase an animal, they have some really negative health consequences due to the lack of care and to the inbreeding taking place.
Although pet stores in Tallahassee do not participate in the retail sale of domestic dogs and cats, Representative Kristen Arrington says there are still some places in Florida that do.
I do think, though, in South Florida, from what I've heard, that it is still a big issue in some of those more chain stores. But because luckily some counties have kind of stepped up and put local ordinances in place, you know, there are some spots that luckily are not doing it anymore.
House Bill 45 was proposed in hopes to create a decline in animal cruelty. At this time, House Bill 45 has yet to be heard by the House, but Representative Escamani encourages citizens who care about this bill to reach out to the First Committee staff and ask for it to be added to the agenda. I'm Shamani Baker with TV 20 News.
Welcome back to TV News 20 and happy Friday, everyone. I'm Aaliyah Terry with your local weather forecast for today. Now, we have been seeing the weather cool down, much cooler weather than we have seen in the past week. We are currently seeing cloudy skies at 65 degrees with a 0% chance of rain. This evening, we can expect the temperature drop down to 47 degrees. We can expect some partly cloudy skies as well with 13% chance of rain. Moving on into our area temperatures, we can see cooler weather throughout the entire area, averaging the high from 62 to 66 degrees. We are seeing Bainbridge, Crawfordville, Mariana, Moultrie, and Quincy with the high at 63. We are seeing the average low temperatures from 37 to 47 degrees. Moving on into our 5-day forecast, we are seeing partly cloudy skies throughout the entire weekend, and we are seeing it cool throughout the entire weekend as well. Friday, the high at 65, the low at 47. Saturday, the high at 64, the low at 46. We can expect to see some rain on Sunday, so make sure you guys grab your umbrellas. And the high is at 66 and the low is at 49. Monday and Wednesday, we can expect some partly cloudy skies as well, but we will be seeing the temperature warm up. Monday, we see the high at 73 and the low at 51. Tuesday, the high at 79 and the low at 56. So I know we are all looking forward to that warmer weather at the beginning of next week. That's all the weather I have for you guys today. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Welcome back. I'm Marissa Stubbs here with your latest in sports news. A bill to ban transgender women and girls from participating in K-12 or college women's sports passed a Florida House committee on Wednesday. Here's Maya Ellison with more.
That's right, Marissa. The Fairness of the Women's Sports Act would require that athletes be biologically female to eligible to compete. Now, if the bill was to be targeted, or that would mean that athletes would have to come back with confirmation from a healthcare provider. The bill's representative, Kaylee Tuck, says the bill is pro-woman, but Democrats are slamming the bill, saying that it's discriminatory against transgender women. The bill still has 2 more committees to go through the House. Live from Convergence, I am Maya Ellison.
That's going to do it for us this afternoon. For Maya, Marissa, Aaliyah, and Shadell, I'm Michael Moore.
And I'm Cameron Marshall. Thank you so much for watching.